So let's talk about this first. I need you guys to do me a favor before I start. Now, every one of you have a mobile phone. Can you take it out? Take it out, take it out. Come on, come on. I want to see. Wave it, wave it. We're not going to sing together, but okay, cool. That's good, that's good. Now what you do is turn it into a selfie mode and take a selfie of yourself. Do it, do it, do it. I'm not asking you to take a selfie with me, but take a selfie of yourself. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yes, good, good. I can see many people doing that. Yeah. All right, good. Okay. All right, now, my next question to you is, would you upload that selfie of yourself, or would you put it in a photo editor and remove the pimple spot, make yourself brighter? Okay, so that comes to the model that I believe in. Now, everyone has got their own success model. Now, I believe in a success model which is called APC. Aspiration, personality, and contentment. Now, why did I share you an analogy here is that aspiration. The first aspiration is that I told you, you come to TEDx and you want to take a selfie of yourself. The same thing, as a leader, you have an aspiration. You want to be someone. You want to achieve something. Alright? And the next thing is personality. Now I realize that some of them have different personality. You wanted to show your macho-ness, you wanted to show your probably Paris Hilton lips, or some sort of thing. You know, there's different personalities. So the same thing also, you have different attitudes. So when you have an aspiration, with the right attitude, you'll be able to achieve what you aspire. Now, let's talk about contentment. Contentment is something about satisfaction. Now, satisfaction is, when you saw the picture, most of you will not upload that. You will say, no, we'll put it in Avery, photo editor, make it nice, remove the wrinkles, remove the pimples, smoothen up everything, and then only you will upload it. So it's about contentment, satisfaction. So if you're not satisfied with what you aspire and what you have achieved, your mind will start wandering around, okay? So with that, let me move on straight away to redefining great individuals. Now, there is a public perception about the great individuals. What do we feel about great individuals? Who do we think they are? Now, some people might say great individuals are people with 15,000 Twitter likes, or people with a lot of followers in Instagram, or those with iPhone 6, a Nokia 3300. I still remember that. Okay, or probably someone who drives a Ferrari or a 6-digit number in the bank. Those are great people. Now, this is the type of public perception that we have been seeing. But it's very important for you to know that how I believe great individuals are people who are able to add value. People who are able to add value to people's life. It does not have to be 2, 3. It can be even 1. Adding value to one's life is what a great individual is. That's very important. Now, for those who are still wondering and looking at me, there's no subtitles, huh? Okay? You have to follow me, or you don't follow me, you miss the boat. Alright? So now this is a picture of me taking a reputable award in Malaysia, which was conferred by Dr. Mahathir. So, when I was given this achievement award, I did not actually think it as an achievement, or I did not think it as a recognition, but it was more of a responsibility. How am I going to take this award and start adding value into the community? And that's where I'm going to go and start off. Alright? Breaking away from convention. Now you would have heard about me talking in my brief that they say that I'm going to talk about core point of breaking away from convention. Now I've always stressed in most of my sharing that you have to explore the path which is unexplored. Now I did not tell you to go into the jungle, okay, and trek in the paths that are not tracked by those jungle trekkers, but I'm telling you to take a path which has not been taken by others. Now, how do you do it? I'm sure you would throw back a question to me. What is this guy coming and talking about breaking away from convention? Now, how do you do that? Now, let me share with you. I always feel that to give a certain personal touch to people, you share their own personal journey. You share your own personal journey. So, let me start with you. When I was in my first year in the university, when everyone was going in there, blur, looking at the university, oh my God, how am I going to spend 5 years here? You know, those kind of questions they were asking. I was actually going in and I saw there was something called Engineering Design Exhibition. So I was thinking, this is something different. I should make a difference in this kind of competition. But they were saying no. You know what? There's the standard mindset says that this is only meant for the final year project students or postgraduates. You know, those who are studying for PhD. So I was like, no, I think we should set a path. A different path. I should take a different path. I should break away from convention, and I should be one of them who starts off with this kind of competition at my first year. So what I did was, I brought a few people who share the same vision as me. Now, this is what we say about great leaders. Great leaders always gather people who have the same vision, and they make them believe in the same vision, and they achieve it together. Okay, you do not walk alone, but you walk together, and you will go far. So the same thing I did was I got a few people, and I came up with a project, and that project was called Cheat Buster. Sounds interesting, huh? So it was the most preferred project by the professors, but the most hated project by students. You would know what is that now. It's a project, it was a pilot project that actually detected people sending out text messages, receiving text messages, or making calls during examinations. So this was a particular project that we came up in a group. And guess what? This entire project with the new team, which is just in first year, not even in final year, and we just came in there, we started competing, we started arguing, we started going up there, here, there, and finally, we got 7 awards out of that project only, and we were sent to Malaysian level and also an international level competition. And that's where we set the path for the juniors that were coming in, not to just come in and look blurry, but get into something and make a difference even when you're in your first year. And from that on, we went on to the second project, the third project, fourth project, and by the end, when I graduated, I had almost more than 30 awards. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, I'm sure many of you also would be in your final year project. Now, final year project is something which was my climax, my apex of achievement. Now, what happened was, everyone's thinking of, it's time to just graduate, wear the robe, throw the scroll, take a selfie, take a wee-fee, take a squaffy, all sorts of fee, right? So you'll be wondering at that time. So I was thinking that, instead of just making it a final year project, I wanted to add value. Because it's all about adding value to the community. It's not just about doing what you like, but you're also doing what is important for the community. So I thought, okay, let me think of a global crisis that's ongoing. And at that time, the global crisis was food versus fuel. Now, what is food versus fuel? They were deriving fuel, which is known as biodiesel, out of food products, like corn, like soybean. So now, of course, biodiesel is not something that you can actually pour into your car and get your car running. Your car will not be running like a normal car. You'll end up like Flintstones, huh? Okay? So of course, it's blended with a fossil fuel and it's put in a car. So what happened there is that I was thinking, I should get this off. If I'm not able to remove the risk, at least I can reduce the risk. So I thought, let's look into an alternative source. And there was this plant called jatropha, and this plant was not eaten by animals. Okay? So I took it and I blended it. And they always say, great ideas come during when? Sleeping and in the toilet. So I can't remember when was it. Maybe because I can't sing, so probably I was thinking under the shower. And this great idea came and I thought, let's go into the lab and start mixing stuffs. So I started mixing and I came up with a blend of food-derived product and also non-edible derived product, and I came up with a fuel. And guess what? Okay, of course I did not end up like Einstein with his hair all around, because most probably at that time I didn't have hair to burn it off. Okay, so I came up with a biodiesel blend, and that biodiesel blend was able to address the global crisis, and with that I moved on with almost 11 awards worldwide, and I was known as the youngest research scholar in the university itself. Now, of course, you'll be thinking, all right, so what is with all this? Okay, so you have done all this because you have always thought of taking the path least taken. You always take the path least taken. I don't like to follow what people do, but I like to do what people don't do. Simple as that. So I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm ready to go. Now I came to the corporate world. Now, of course, you're out of your comfort zone. So you go into the corporate world. Are you 100% prepared to lead? If someone asks you that, don't quote me, please. All right? My answer would be no. You're never 100% prepared to lead. You learn along the journey. You learn from what you do. So what happened was I came up as a chemical engineering graduate. But what happened was they told me that they had an offer for drilling. So I said, all right, no big deal. I'll take it. And guess what I thought of drilling? I thought there could be some sleeping dinosaur down there, eating ayam ku, had some digestion problem, and started releasing gas, and we are going to drill that and start running your car like Flintstones. So what happened was, okay, said, no problem, I'll take the challenge. Then they told me that, okay, you're going to PETRONAS. Now, I'm sure you know that the two twin towers, so I was positioned there. So they told me, all right, you know what? 3 years. People take almost 3 years to get into a position, a drilling engineering position, so you will have to go through that. So I said, all right, what can I do differently? As usual, I'm trying to do something differently. So I said, if they take 3 years, I will try to do it within 2 years. And good enough, I took 1 year and 10 months, and immediately I graduated as one of the youngest engineer to have been completed the entire project or the entire learning module in the shortest period of time. And once again, I said the path was least taken for the rest of them to follow. So what happened was they told me, okay, come on, you know what, you're done. Moving on to the next one, they told me, we are going to give you an assignment. What's your assignment? Go offshore, be a supervisor. So I said, go offshore and be a supervisor? No problem. I thought it's like going to the kitchen, people are cooking, go there, food testing, oh, perfect, all nice. There's a supervisor, right? So I was like, all right, perfect, no problem. They said, no, atmospheric pressure is 14.7 psi. And they told me, what you're going to be sitting on is something under the seabed, which is about 10,000 psi. And I was like, 10,000 psi, what am I supposed to be doing up there? And they said, oh, there'll be about 150 people listening to you. You make the decision, anything goes wrong, you'll make headlines tomorrow. So I said, all right. So I said, never mind, I face my own fear. I take the path least taken. I grabbed my bag and I said, okay, no problem. They put me on a chopper. I went and landed on this place. Now when I landed offshore, I went to the room and I sat down in a conference room and I had 2 rows of people looking at me. Guess what? These people, their experience is my age. Now I say, let's take this path, and they say, no, we have taken this path all this while, you don't have to teach us. So that's when it comes in building credibility. Building credibility in a hard way. How do I teach people? How do you build credibility? Take your ego, throw it in the dustbin. Go down to the ground level, learn it. Learn it through the hard way. Make them believe that you have something. Everyone here in the room is unique. You have your own unique characteristics. So you take that, you blend it along with the credibility, and you make people to believe. And guess what? 2 years I spent offshore and I had a wonderful team with me, and I made them believe that even a young leader, which is almost half or maybe 1/3 of their age, can also lead. Now, I'm sure you have heard that, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. So what's next? You have your knowledge, you have your experience, you have your expertise. So what do you do next? So next thing is that sharing. Now, sharing is learning. We are so lucky that we have people to come here and share on TEDx. So the same thing, I always stress, collaborators are the fittest. Why do I say so? I always view it in such a way that there is government, there is also non-government, and there is also a corporate sector. Now, these are the 3 sectors. Now, within my boundary, I've already done things in the corporate sector. I've always empowered people, empowered youth in the corporate sector. Now, how do I look forward? Because we have something which we can share with the government, we have something which we can share with the non-government. So I was thinking, what should I do next? So they came with this governmental organization called the Young Professionals Bureau. Now, they were empowering youths in Malaysia. So I thought I should do something, and I volunteered myself. Now, when I got in there, they told me, all right, we would like you to be part of the board of directors. So one of the youngest board of directors. I said, no problem. So what we did was, we started gathering people and empowering people. The next thing I said, I should move into non-governmental. How many of y'all know what's Teach for America? Yes. So there's something called Teach for Malaysia. I thought they're going to start it off in Malaysia. So I got into Teach for Malaysia. I started volunteering there. And then finally UNHCR. I had a group of refugees who lost hope, and I thought I should be able to share with them a hope and tell them there's a future ahead. And so I started teaching refugees. So these are the things that you do, because remember, knowledge is not what you own. Knowledge is given to you by Him. And He entrusts you to share it with people, not to keep it within yourselves. So, as you can see, once again, what I'm trying to stress here is that you should try to take the path least taken. Face your fear. Never, ever take the step back. Always remember, if you have an idea, transform that into an action and move forward. With that, I ask or I encourage most of you to take the path least taken. Thank you.